It's time to grow and scale your coaching business the impact-driven, simple and sustainable way. Welcome to Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi. I'm your host, Sofia, mindset and business coach, supporting ambitious new and rising coaches to master their mindset, create an aligned and profitable strategy, and grow a six-figure business and beyond using the Rising Coach method. I built $1 million business by the age of 26 in under 4 years, and I've coached hundreds across the globe to build incredible businesses that create freedom and fulfillment whilst having a whole lot of fun along the way. And in this podcast, I will teach you the mindset, strategy, and energetics to do the same. Let's dive in. Welcome to Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi. I am so excited for this episode because today I am interviewing one of my best friends, Alex, the Money Queen. Now, I have actually referenced her very sneakily a few times on the episode because she is a big part of my life and she's someone I'm very, very grateful for. And she's someone that inspires me deeply. So having the honor to interview her, and I can't believe we hadn't actually done it sooner, is honestly such an honor. And I mean that. I go to her for advice and feedback and words of wisdom. And I know that she does the same. And it's a really beautiful relationship that we have. And so to bring both her and my energy together to you guys today is very exciting. We are both manifesting generators. We're very energetic, vibrant people. Whenever we are in a group of other people, we get pinpointed as the two, fun, energetic bunny rabbits, basically jumping around, lighting up other people. And so we have that in common. And if you hear lots of laughter and funny voices and banter in this episode, I wanted to give that context that it is because we are besties. We go for walks all of the time and go to the gym together and hang out together, and yeah, she's a vibe. But I'm not just bringing her on here because she's one of my besties. I'm bringing her on here because she has a lot of experience and expertise when it comes to all things money, with a background in accounting and bookkeeping, paired with a really, really strong both mindset and money mindset. Magical things happen when it comes to abundance, wealth, and growth within your life and in your business. So if you are wanting to upgrade your whole life, if you are wanting to upgrade your business, that starts with your money mindset and managing your finances, because without that, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. And so today's episode is actually extremely important. And I said this to Alex a few times. I'm like, every time I'm gonna get questions based on money mindset, I'm gonna direct them to this episode because that's how valuable it was. And she's also come inside my mastermind and delivered an exceptional training in there as well, where we go even layers deeper. So she's got a wealth of knowledge, and I'm excited to bring her to this space today. So if you want to know things like what actually makes her the money queen, because that's quite a bold yet appropriate statement for who she is and what she does, what your life can look like with and without money mindset. She's had an incredible journey and story, and she's so abundant and has, such a great mindset. And she shares what some of those practices are and how that supported her so much. What happens when you avoid talking about money, are scarce with money, or avoid money actions like following up with payment failures and, leaning into invoices and things like that. Like, I know so many people that I've spoken to in this industry that don't look at their finances and avoid looking at their bank accounts and avoid talking about money and have all of these negative aspects on money. And if you're listening to this right now and you're like, oh, this is me, then this episode is totally for you. And Alex speaks into all of these pain points. And this may trigger you. This may be uncomfortable, but if you open your heart and your mind, there is so much opportunity for growth and learning and up leveling if you are able to see this with an open mind. So she's straight to the point, but with the absolute best intentions. She also speaks into examples of an abundant versus scarce money mindset, why some coaches are just doing everything in their business. They're doing the strategies, they're doing the things, and they're still not making money. And she speaks into that scarcity piece, around money of like, I want the sale, why isn't the sales coming, why isn't the money coming, and so forth. More's going out than in, and so forth. We speak all into that. So if you want to know the answers to all of those questions or some of those questions, this is the episode for you, my friends. Enjoy. Let us both know what was your biggest takeaway. This is going to be an episode you're going to want to save to listen to on repeat anytime you need a little upgrade and up level in your life. And I hope you enjoy. Hello, Alex. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello. How are you? Thank you.
I'm very good. I'm very excited about this. There's going to be a lot of banter in this episode because we're besties.
And it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, this is not some random collaboration, guys.
No.
First of all, we're in person together. And second of all, we don't take much seriously when we're together. So this will be very interesting.
Yes, yeah. Also educational, but very interesting.
Yes. Already, people are like, what's wrong with you two? I am, in all seriousness, I'm very excited about this conversation because we're talking all things money, mindset, business, growth and success, which is obviously why a lot of people listen to the podcast, but it's all, what we're going to be speaking about today will just help a lot of people, no matter where they're at in their business, to really go to the next level, essentially. But what I wanted to kick off with is your Instagram username is very bold and I love it. You call yourself Alex the Money Queen, and I want to ask you, what makes you the Money Queen?
Brilliant question. Love that. When I saw it, I was like, okay, we're here for it.
Straight
on in. No backing down. And honestly, when I read it, I was like, why the fuck should I not be? Who am I to not be the money queen?
So true.
Because we were having a conversation yesterday and it's like, the difference between me being an employee and me doing what I'm doing now is literally like a multiplier of 3. And the only difference in that is my confidence.
So true.
That's the only difference.
Yeah.
And I think about your business experience as well. You started when you were 23?
Yeah, 22.
22. And it's the only difference between you starting that and continuing your 5 jobs was confidence. So it's who am I not to be the money queen? Why am I not?
I actually love that that's your answer, because I remember when I was so much younger, I was with my dad and he's very entrepreneurial, and we drove past this cafe and there was a sign on the cafe that said world's best egg and bacon rolls or something. And he said, that's so smart, because who can actually say that that's not the truth? Because it's an opinion thing. And I really learned something powerful there. And the moment you said that, I'm like, why can't I be the money queen? It's it goes right back to that memory I have. And it's stuck with me because I think there's so much truth in of owning what it is you do. They've just claimed it's the world's best bacon and egg roll, and it probably isn't, but they can claim it because no one can question that, because to one person it may be and to one person it may not be, and that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it all comes back to the perception of I'm calling myself the money queen, so then from the position of saying that and stating that and claiming that, then there's an onus on myself to go, okay, now what standards do I get to deliver to actually ring true to that? And that holds myself in account, because if I just said Alex the money person, I'm cool, I'm just another money person. But by calling myself the money queen and claiming that title, it's okay, I get to, be better than
step into yesterday. That.
Yeah, exactly. It's the evolutionary version of myself. I get to be her every day. I get to wake up and go, what would the money queen do right today? And how can I move forward to, enabling her and allowing her to be in my space more boldly and more proudly, and to impact more women? If I just woke up being I'm just another money person, cool.
Yeah, and I think when you start a business and you grow a business, you get to decide where you want to position yourself in the market. Do you want to be the average money mindset coach that, helps the general everyday person? Or do you want to position yourself as if you want the best of the best quality service, experience, and therefore results, I'm your person? You've chosen where you want to rank yourself, I suppose, in terms of who you want to attract, and that title puts you in that position immediately.
Absolutely. And even what you said just now about who you want to attract, it's people will see that title and either love me or hate me. I don't care. You're going to form an opinion in any case. So if you love me, great, you're going to be an ideal client. If you hate me, fantastic, go over there, boo.
Exactly.
It doesn't bother me. I'm none the wiser.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I love that. And I always love to give context when I'm interviewing people about their journey and how they got there, because no one just wakes up and be I'm just gonna be the money queen. There's obviously a history there. So if you were to reflect back on the beginning of your money journey, where do you start that story and how you've gotten to where you are now?
Yeah, so when I was growing up, obviously I had a mother and a father.
Yes.
And my
they
dad
went to the bedroom.
Exhibit A. Playfulness.
9 months later.
Yeah, I was here. But no, like when I was growing up, I had a beautiful polarity of my dad was, in a wealthy family, wealthy mindseted family, and they were born in, he was born in Egypt, migrated to Australia, they left everything in Egypt and they had to rebuild their wealth, and they did that because they had a wealthy mindset. My mother is the contrary to that. She grew up in that like scarcity mentality and mindset. So I saw growing up, how would dad make a move? How would mum make a move? And then as my curiosity developed and as I grew up and was educated, I was like, what's my choice here? It was like a real life version of Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
I was about to say, I'm really just thinking of that book right now. You're going to have your own version.
Exactly. So it was like, what choice am I choosing? And I just naturally fell into the world of commerce. Like when I left year 6, I was like, I wanted to do something in commerce or be an actress. And I'm like, I'm living that out. This is amazing. And then I ended up doing a commerce degree, was an accountant, did that for 4 years, then started a bookkeeping company, had that for 6 years, had about a year off, and then, have this business that I have now. So I've been in the accounting and bookkeeping space for just about 15 years now.
Wow.
So like, as much as I claim I'm the money queen, there is definitely justification behind it to go, I've been in the industry for a long time. I've seen so many businesses do amazing things, like have faced incredibly challenges, and also like play in some grey areas where I'm like, girlfriend, you should not be doing that. Let's stop that.
And like what's really cool from your childhood, and actually a very similar one in terms of like my dad's background versus my mum's and so forth, maybe not as extreme though, but like growing up you would have really seen the consequences of having one mindset versus the other, like, and not just like based on how they feel, but also just like the reality of their life as well. And I think when you experience two sides of something and you see the benefits of one in particular, it would almost be a disservice to not like share that with other people that maybe, only have one side of the coin.
Yeah, 100%. And like there's always been this service element to my world to go like, I feel like because I had that polarity growing up, and then because I have the education that I have and the confidence that I have and the people skills, like I remember when I was an accountant and I would do a lot of networking, people would meet me, and as soon as I said I was an accountant, they would close off immediately being like, you're boring. And I'm like, you don't fucking know me at all. Like I actually have a personality, I have, a persona, and like I can actually speak accountant talk and human.
And
Two different
and I
things.
think that's so important, because I'm sure people close off like that. Not that they should ever jump to those conclusions or assume, but I suppose there is this picture painted like in movies, in stories, and also like maybe more often than not, accountants do come off that way for whatever reason. And I think that it's really cool that you have that point of difference, and I think that that's so important so that people don't close off to money and so forth, because it's obviously extremely important.
Yeah, 100%. It can definitely change like the direction of your life and the way that you are living as well, and also the experiences that you get to have.
Exactly. I wrote a post the other day on like the reason why I talk about money so much, because people can make these assumptions, right, of like, oh, she only talks about money because that's all she cares about, or that's her top priority, and maybe doesn't care about other things. But actually, like, the reason why I talk about it is because my whole life has changed as a result of it. It allows me to give back to other people more. It allows me to help more people, should I say, and provide a better service, and live life to the fullest, and spend more time on the things that you love the most and with the people you love the most. And that's honestly as a result of like earning money. And so how could you have your whole life like transformed by this one thing and not talk about it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's like part of my mission is literally to get more money into the hands of women. And like, where does that start? It starts from starting the conversation, because I liken it to when LGBTIQ, sorry if I said that wrong, that wasn't, you just didn't speak about it because it wasn't the accepted thing in the community. How did it become such an accepted thing now? Because we started fucking conversations. So in my reality, because of the work that I do, I'm like, I get to be a player in that arena, and I get to start conversations by being here, by speaking up like in my audience, by connecting with other people, with being the loud and proud person, by calling myself the fucking money queen. Like, who am I not to start that conversation? It literally, any change in the world starts with one person.
That's so true. So I know that the starting point of talking about money and transforming the way people view it is probably the mindset side of things. So what would you say is a money mindset?
Yeah, it's literally like your operating system. Like you think about how you do business. It's like, am I going to treat this business as a hobby and like be half-assed at it and be like, oh, sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm off? Or are you going to treat your business as like, I'm a CEO of this fucking company. And I know that you've experienced this, being a sole trader versus a company operating in that.
It was such a shift.
It's wild.
Yeah.
So different. And so
I'm legit now. I have to try.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like you get to try. It's like you get to evolve. You get to set a different standard for yourself. So in your money mindset, it's like, how am I intentionally operating here? Am I operating from scarcity or am I operating from abundance? And how am I playing out my daily decisions, and what outcome am I having based on those actions that I took? So, an abundant mindset is like, how can I afford this? It's what's the actual return on investment of this $1,000? What's me not spending $1,000 actually really costing me on the back end? Like, whereas the scarcity is just like, I just don't have any money, full stop, the conversation is finished and I'm done.
It's so interesting. Hey, it's like sometimes I'll like have sales conversations with people about potentially working together or whatever, and it's like before I've like even like said the price or the program, they've already decided they don't have the money, and it's like, what if it's $5? Like, you don't know. Like, you haven't even asked. And it's so interesting that people like shut off any opportunity subconsciously and subtly because of their mindset of like opportunities for growth and success and fulfillment, because like you just gave that example of like, well, how can I afford this? But that also starts with like, what is the cost, and some people just don't even try because there's that much of a block around opening themselves up to the opportunity.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll circle it back to the start of this conversation of like closing yourself off to those opportunities when you started your business. And same for me, when I started my business, we had no place, in inverted commas, to start those businesses so young. Like I started mine just after I turned 25 and heavily male dominated industry. So I should not have been there and did what I did. But it was from the place of abundance of there's always enough clients. I have enough experience. There's more opportunities than I have time for. Like there's always enough. There's always this flow and ease around me, and I get to lean into that. So it's like, whilst it's money mindset, it's also your just general business mindset as well that it all leaks into, because a saying that I somewhat love is like everything touches everything.
Yes.
So it's like, how are you operating in one way if you're closing yourself off to a program which could literally change your life because of an assumption that you have about the price, and like you said, it may be $5. You may be having a special. You may be like, oh, it's my birthday today, so like, here, I'll give it to you for free.
Yeah.
Like, they
asking you
know.
shall receive. But if you don't even ask the question or lean in, even if it is uncomfortable, then you'll never know.
Yeah. Be bold enough to ask. Have that courageousness to ask. What's the worst thing that can happen?
I love that. And like on this topic, I have conversations with people all of the time, whether that's clients or potential clients or just general conversations. And I hear so many people have a scarce relationship with money. And I've definitely, I was there like, many, many years ago. Like I had a scarce relationship with money, and it has evolved. And I would say it evolved quickly through leaning into this work. But so whilst I understand how it feels to have a scarce relationship with money, I hear of much worse out there, like situations I've not been put in. And some of the things I hear is like, that they don't even check their bank account because they don't even want to see the number, whether it's a plus or a minus, they don't want to know about it. And something I heard the other day from someone is she's got potentially thousands, I'm scared to even say potentially tens of thousands of unpaid invoices and payment failures, and they're too scared to have the conversation of like, hey, you actually owe this money or whatever. That one shook me, so I had to bring this one to the table because I really need to hear your perspective. And like people just don't even want to talk about money or like mention it, or they're afraid of what will happen if they get the money. So if they get the money, they'll lose their friends and family, or they'll lose this or they'll lose that. So there's so much mind drama about money, like practically and mindset wise, and just the scarcity overall. And I'm really just, I've obviously mentioned a few things here, but just curious to hear, like, what's your take on all of that? Like, how do you even begin to debunk that and move through that?
Yeah, so much in that.
I know, sorry. But it's just I've heard so many examples recently, like the not following up with invoices. I was just like, I broke inside. I'm like, how can you not?
Yeah, and it's It's a lot more common than you think.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm realizing, and that's why I want to bring it to the table. So anytime someone comes at me with a money mindset question, I'm going to be like, go listen to Alex right now on this podcast.
100%. Because, like, unfortunately, I'd say about 60% of clients that come into my world have that example. And I write off an awful lot of it because I'm like, what are you holding on to right now? What are you choosing to hold on to? Every time you open up your Xero file, if you're courageous enough to even do that, you're seeing choices that you've made in previous versions of yourself, and you're still choosing to stay stuck in that story. And you're not allowing yourself to actually evolve. And the choice, every day we have a choice to wake up or to not, right?
Yep.
Say how it is. Yeah, right? But then it's like every day we also have a choice to show up as what type of leader we want to be. So the leader that I choose today can choose to have a courageous conversation, to like email. We were talking about having difficult conversations this week.
Yes, we were.
And it's like, how can I lean into this? What's the bare basic? It's sending a text message. What's the next one? Sending a voice note. What's the next one? Actually having a phone conversation with them. So where are you at on your scarcity journey, and about like, and how can you evolve that? If you're not ready for a phone call, great, send a voice note. If you're not ready for a voice note, then send a text. And perhaps like ask for a voice note conversation afterwards. There's always a way to move through what you're going through right now. And it all starts with literally a decision to go, I'm fucking done with living like this. Because when people stop paying your bills and you don't chase them, like, it's so important to you. You know how much money that they owe you. They're completely fucking oblivious. It's not important to them because they're living life.
But the energy seeps in so many ways. Let's say they do notice, like you've shared this with me sometimes, where you know someone's meant to be sending you an invoice and they haven't, and you're so confused about that. And all that does, like, because you're someone that you want to pay for it and you're literally waiting for it, and all that leads to is like if this is how they behave here, like, you know, it makes you lower the respect and the standard that you have for that person in general. So it's like, you could see it as like, oh, I'm doing a good thing by not chasing up on the payment failure, but actually, like, it has such a negative leak in so many ways. And then if you're doing that there, where else is there these energetic leaks in other areas of your life, like relationships and things like that?
I completely agree, because yes, like the example that I shared this week, I want to pay my contractors. I want to pay my team. And when I don't get it on time, I'm like, where's your invoice? I want to pay you. And it's like, yeah, where else is that leaking? Yeah. And to me, it's, and the opposite side of that rather is when you're not chasing that up, when you're not leaning into those money conversations, it's like, I don't trust myself to follow that up, because what's going to happen? What will the other side of that conversation be? Will it be, I don't want to pay that money? Shit, I don't know how I can handle that rejection. What does that mean about me, that they don't want to spend that money? Did I not provide the right service? Did I not live up to their expectations? What does that mean about me as a coach? What does that mean about me as a person? What does it mean about my business? Should I shut it down?
Goes so deep.
The layers are like enormous. So that's why so many, unfortunately, women have these experiences of like onboarding clients and saying yes and amazing, but then once the payment failures start to happen or the promises fall through, they're like hands off because of the lack of trust in themselves to go, actually, I can have a courageous conversation. I can lean into this. I can handle whatever their response is.
Yeah. And for me personally, like, I really respect the people that have those standards for themselves. Like, people respect people that have standards in their business and in their life. And when you don't have that, it just seeps in so many ways. And, you know, these people that are not chasing up, you know, payment failures, potentially then there becomes this like resentment, and your behavior and how you coach and support that person shifts, and they don't know why, potentially. And it's just like this really messy thing. So yeah, it's all about just making that first baby step is kind of what I hear you saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
To start that journey and just start getting more comfortable with the discomfort.
Yeah, seek discomfort, my friends. That is my ethos in life. Y'all should enjoy that.
I also feel like it's one of those things of like choose your hard, because it's like, you know, both are hard, right? Like, not dealing with that is really hard, in the sense that if you let that go on at a deep enough level, there goes your entire business. You'll be spending more than you're earning, and it'll be messy, and, you know, all of these sorts of things. So it's like, you know, one just requires you to like lean in more, you know, immediately, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Amazing. If you're enjoying this episode, then I'd greatly appreciate it if you're not already, if you could take a moment to hit that subscribe button. Your support fuels our mission to bring you even more valuable content every week. My promise to you is that if you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, I'll continue making incredible episodes each week that help you to grow and scale your coaching business. Thank you so much, and let's get back to the episode. Immediately, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Amazing. So speaking more to like coaches now and like business strategy and things like that, obviously where money is involved, I hear this all the time as well of like, especially in the earlier stages of business as people are trying to find this momentum and consistency. And that's a lot of the people that are listening. You know, they'll say things like, you know, I'm doing everything and I'm not making the money, or, you know, I just need the money, or I've done XYZ tasks, like where's the return on investment? Like it's like quite transactional, and really scarce. And I just really want you to speak into what you have to say to those people that are kind of operating from that place of like, I've just done all these things, like now I need to see like this immediate like return.
The words in my head right now is stop that shit.
I love that.
Because it's continuing this perpetual cycle. And it's like, how do I get off this train right now? I make a decision. And I just got really off track. Yes, well, I'm doing all these things, right? I'm doing all these things, but what are you being? Like, how are you choosing to be in this moment? Because you can do X, Y, and Z. It's not going to create a fucking crowd around you. But if you are like the Dalai Lama, he doesn't need to say anything, and people would pay thousands of dollars to be in his presence.
So true.
Because of the way he bees. So how are you showing up? Are you actually doing the things that you say that you would in the time frame that you said you would? Are you waking up every morning saying, I'm going to go out for a walk this morning at 6 a.m. and I'm actually waking up and I'm going to do it, as opposed to snoozing 3 times and then going out at 6:30? It's like that decreases the trust in yourself, and that seeps out to all other areas. So it's like, who are you being in business, and what are you exuding without any physical actions happening or words being exchanged? That's where I would focus. And also then coming back to, you know, what value are you actually providing? Because it's all well and good to say I'm doing an event, I'm investing money in ads, I'm showing up on Instagram lives, but like if you're just talking shit, like, what's the point? Yeah. You're just wasting time and energy and money in not actually, like, impacting people. So focus on the impact that you're making and the value that
rather than just, like, I'm ticked off my list of things, like, where's the result now?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, stop being a spoiled brat. Like, actually go within, because if you don't go within, you'll go without. That is where your problem lies, is that you're focusing on all these other external things to make your life be better, but you're avoiding like what's actually in here. Yeah. Like, I'm touching my chest right now. But like, that's what it is. Yeah. Everything can come back to you. When you're pointing at something else being like, that's the reason why my business is failing. That's the reason why I'm doing all the things and I'm not getting the results. There's 3 fingers pointed back at you. So start there. Yeah.
What's your perspective on like time and money? You know, like, you know, I've been in business for XYZ time, or I've done, you know, like some people say that time does not play a role in making money and vice versa. Like, do you have any thoughts around that?
I think that if you have that opinion of like, I've been in business for 10 years and I need to be like earning X, Y, and Z, like for what purpose? Like why? Because like in my last business, it was incredibly profitable, like really strong revenue, but with where I was at in life, I was like, these big numbers and this big team doesn't actually suit where I want to go. So I sold it, left that life behind and started a new one. So like now being in business, I actually am in business for 10 years this year. I've dropped that expectation of going, I've been in business for 10 years and I should still be making $1 million a year. Like that's not the story that I choose to continue having, because like the lifestyle that I desire, like it doesn't need that much revenue. So I'm like, how can I take that pressure off myself to live like a really comfortable life with not a lot of input, but still like a beautiful output to have a wholesome life. Yeah. So like what I would say to that is, where are your expectations lying and what's actually true for your life right now?
Yeah. Because I hear it all the time, like, because it's in people's messaging and marketing on social media around like, And I say like how long I've been in business because it's a part of my journey. And, you know, but then I'll have coaches come to me being like, I've also been in business for 4 years though, like, and you're making like 4 times as much as me, like, you know, and they correlate it just to the time. It's very fascinating.
Yeah. But even on that story, like, how have you been showing up? You've been incredibly consistent, incredibly committed to adding value. If they've been operating in a system of, I just need to do this, this, and this, and then I'll have 100 grand in my bank, and expecting everything to just happen, as opposed to doing the inner work, going to those uncomfortable places, like seeking that discomfort, which I know that you do, and showing up when even in the days where you're like, oh, I'm not 100% here, but I know that I've committed to this person to show up, and that person may actually be yourself.
So true.
Right? So yes, you may have been in business for the same time, but what actions and what operating system have you been playing at in that time period? Because I guarantee you, if they don't have the same results as you, it's completely fucking different.
Yeah. And I like 100% agree with you on everything you've just said, but I know that there'll be a few people listening that are like, yeah, but easy to say because I'm actually in a really, really tough financial position where, you know, when the dollars come in actually do matter. And so what would you really speak to if someone, you know, is wanting to step into that abundance, but their current reality just does not feel abundant, you know?
Yeah.
It's like kind of like one of those things of like reading your vision board being like, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. It's like they've got $2 in their bank account. It's like, yeah.
So the vision board part, I'll start there. You, like, if I had been a multimillionaire on my vision board and I was like, I had $10 in my bank account and I was looking at it every morning going, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to be a millionaire, I am a millionaire, and starting to embody that, it's a fucking lie, right? It's actually a lie.
Yeah.
But if you change the words to be like, I'm becoming that, I'm leaning into the frequency that is a multimillionaire, like that's true. Because
so true.
Like, and literally those few tiny words shifts it because your brain is like, that's a lie. You're not.
Yeah.
Because it wants to keep you safe. Your safe is like your comfort zone. And in order to get to that place, you need to get out of there. You need to like be the rebel and be like, fuck this, I'm out. I'm leaning in, I'm having that difficult conversation. I'm asking for the money.
Yeah. So even if you're in a really tough position.
Oh, yes.
Go.
I'm going to add to that. As boring as this sounds, you need to do a financial audit. Like, sorry to say, but you really do. And the reason why you're laughing right now is because it's fucking obvious.
Yeah.
It's really obvious and it's really tedious and no one wants to do it because, like we said earlier, people don't want to look at their finances about how much money people owe them. Same situation, different context. So it's like, have an audit and say to yourself, have a challenging conversation with yourself to go, do you pay for Netflix? Do you pay for Stan? How many coffees do you have? And these are small ticket items, and they're really like low hanging fruit. Like, look at the bigger things and go like, does my child need brand new school shirts every single year? Probably not. Are they okay? Yeah. Are they not the absolute best? No. But are they satisfactory? Yes. And if we're literally counting every dollar that comes in and every dollar that goes out, like, in order for us to have some breathing space, actually, I'm going to say no to a new school uniform. Like, because what we've got now is okay. Is it going to appease the Joneses next door because they've got new school uniforms? Probably not. But are you living your life or are you living theirs?
Yeah.
Like, and also another point to that is when you do have an assessment of what's actually coming in and going out, having a reality check on yourself, because I'll use Stan and Netflix as an example, but you know, they are actually luxury items. You can still get free to air TV that doesn't cost you anything. You can still stream a lot of stuff on YouTube, which doesn't cost you anything. So where do you see luxury items as necessities? And
So true.
have that challenging conversation with yourself, because you're like, as we get older and as our income grows, the more cases than not, the expenses that we have increase as well. So where are you been on that trap to go, well, this is what I earn, and so I just have increased my spending in alignment with that. Come back for a second and go, actually, where is life at right now? What is our goals? Where are our values? And if Alex was to have a look at my bank statements, what would she say are our top 3 values in our life? Because I guarantee you...
It'll highlight that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're buying McDonald's every second night and you have health and fitness as one of your top 3 values, I call bullshit. It's not. You'd be meal prepping. You'd be doing a once a week shop. You'd be going to the gym or having a gym membership there. You wouldn't be having McDonald's in there 3 times a week. So what are your numbers actually saying about you? And again, it's an avoidance strategy for people to not do this because they're like, I don't want to see what my actual reality is.
That's so powerful. And I think it just highlights, like, it's not about what you're saying necessarily and more about what you're doing.
Yeah.
I love that. Is there anything you feel like we haven't spoken about? We could talk for hours on all of these topics, but is there anything you're like, if you were to put yourself in the shoes of like new business owner or coach listening to this episode right now that's, maybe feeling scarcity, not exactly happy with what they're bringing in every month or just their relationship with money, is there any like piece of advice or anything you feel like we haven't spoken into that you'd like to cover?
I have a little trick which I love. It's called a money shrine. Do you have one? For the fact you're hesitating, it's a no.
No.
It's not effective.
No. I have though. I have had a money shrine where I had on a shelf, I had my vision board and I had like money and coins around it and even in different currencies, and I had like my crystals and my freaking affirmations around, like, so I have had one. But I'm in my minimalist era in this household and I do not currently have one.
So fair. Okay, so what a money shrine is what you've just described. It can have things in it that bring joy to you, that elevate your life, that seem really abundant to you. And if you can afford to buy the things, great. If you cannot, just print out pictures of them and have them like placed around your shrine. And what is important with this is not actually the creation of it, it's the connection with it and the relationship with it. Because what I do every Monday morning before I start my week is I go to my money shrine and I connect with it. How did I treat money last week? How did money treat me the last week? And then if I need to apologize, if I need to say thank you, if I need to clear up the energy between me and money, I do that. And then I put a line in the sand and go, okay, thank you for that. And now I want to focus on the next week. What have I got coming up from a money point of view that I can lean into, or that I am, not looking forward to? If I've got a big bill, I'm like, okay, I get to pay that. Not oh shit, I've got to pay, I don't know, my tax bill or something like that. Like, ugh. And I lean into, how do I want to be in relationship with money next week? And so doing that practice every week, especially at the start of the week, allows me to be really intentional, to go, I am going to be more mindful of when I pull my card out and just go tap, or pull my phone out and go tap, because of the commitment that I said on the Monday to go, I'm going to look forward to paying my tax bill on Wednesday, as opposed to resentful that far out, like bloody Albanese's taken all my money. Like, be thankful that you even got profits to give to him.
Yeah, that was a mindset shift I had to have. I used to say, like, I hate taxes, I hate the government, this and that. But then I realized, the more taxes I pay can symbolize, like, it means the more money I'm making. And that, like, if I had to choose, like, again, like, choose your heart, I'd rather have to pay the government than to be in a position where I don't even have anything to give.
Exactly. If you're not paying taxes, you're making a loss.
Yeah.
That's simple fact.
Yeah, and I don't want to be making a loss. So.
Exactly, yeah. So many people have that attitude of, oh, God, taxes.
I know people that intentionally try and stay under the bar so they don't have to pay the taxes.
Yeah, and where else are they playing small?
Yeah,
like intentionally playing small just to avoid taxes. How can you actually fucking lean into that and go, cool, this is actually a beautiful byproduct of my business doing really well. How can I celebrate that?
Yeah. If you can't change... Like, we can't control whether, like, tax is a thing or not. So if you can't change it, change your mindset on it, right?
100%. Yeah.
This, like, leads me into, though, like, when you shared this about the money shrine, you have lots of different rituals when it comes, rituals, standards, practices that you have around money. I don't remember what it's called, but you do this thing where it's like, it's something you allow yourself to purchase or invest in every month. Yes. What is that? Speak about that.
The monthly, tell me. The monthly wealth upgrade.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, so that's something that I choose. Again, choose intentionally to go, this month, what can I focus on or buy or invest in or, put some energy towards that will elevate my standards and to make me feel like I'm more stepping into that queen vibe. And one example, if you're watching the video, is my nails. When I have nail polish on, I'm like, I feel put together.
In your feminine energy.
Yeah, exactly. And especially with like this new nice red color that I have on today, it's like I feel fucking great. And that's
a wealth upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. Because if I don't have my nails painted, I'm like, oh, I feel a bit boring. So how am I going to show up? I'm going to show up a bit boring.
Yeah.
But with the nail polish, I'm like, oh.
So true. If I
this
like put any effort into my hair or something, I'm like fucking on every Instagram story, live post. It's just in your confidence.
Yeah, yeah. So it's one thing that I can intentionally buy, invest in, put some energy towards that will elevate my standards in regards to money.
What was your last one?
New car.
A new car. Just a little purchase.
Yeah, but that was a huge...
That was a wealth upgrade.
Yeah. I actually did a whole podcast episode on that.
That was a life upgrade.
That was, yes, exactly. Yeah.
Very bougie.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Well, if people want to learn more about you, follow you, just be in your energy. If you haven't picked up, it's good to be in Alex's energy.
It's a vibe.
Yeah. Or even work with you. Like, where can people find all the things?
Yeah. So go to my website, www.alexunscripted.com, or Instagram, slide into my DMs, Alex_the_money queen. Hi! That is where you'll find me, or Facebook if you're a Facebook person. That's fine.
Don't judge the Facebook people.
Oh,
I'm a Facebook person.
I'm inclusive. Thank you very much. I did not say that.
It was the tone. If you're a Facebook person.
Look, we get all platforms. Thank you very much. Appreciate the feedback.
Nah, thank you so much for being here. I've loved this. I can't wait to just forward this to everyone that has any money bullshit. I'm like, just listen to this and then come back to me.
Don't speak to Alex.
Not my problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm really grateful, and we'll link everything in the show notes so people can easily access all of that.
Lovely. Love that.
Amazing. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Although I can't see each one of you, I know you're there because of the downloads we see each week, and I appreciate your presence immensely. If something in this episode resonated with you, I'd be thrilled to hear about it. Connect with me on Instagram at Sofia Rose Bernardi. Share your key takeaways or simply say hello. Your thoughts mean the world to me. Remember, it's your feedback that keeps this show going. Until next time, take care.